Hello and welcome to Randoms. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are here to fix the country. Not only the country.
To fix the country.
We must. We must. We must.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah. Someone, somewhere must do it. So,
We came across a video, you guys. Hi and welcome back to Randoms. My name is Emily, and these golden voice that you are hearing in the background is Mr. Anonymous. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another video. On this channel, we do commentary on, I would say, spirituality.
it is spirituality.
Spirituality commentary on this channel, and we talk about anything concerning spiritual matters. Now there's a video on TikTok from this person. I think they are a traditional healer or a sangoma, and they refer to themselves as Babamkhulu. They put out a challenge, Mr. Anonymous, to Sis Thembi, the one we always review here on the channel from Dlozilami.
Yeah.
Yes. And they are throwing atrocious accusations at Sis Thembi, or accusing Sis Thembi of being a scammer, of being a fake. Why can't the spirits that always enter her don't speak in other languages like Chivenda? And other languages? Why is it always Zulu, Sotho sometimes? Is the question that Babamkhulu has, calling her the next Bushiri, misleading. She's saying that she's misleading the nation.
Yes.
And she says that Mauja Love must grant her an interview with Sis Thembi. These are some of the things that she's saying, but we're going to listen to the recording with you guys and also put commentary where it's necessary. I think this is where Mr. Anonymous is going to attempt to educate some of us about some of the things that Babamkhulu is raising here regarding Sis Thembi's style of prophesying.
Okay,
let's listen.
So
let's
here
hear.
we roll. Here's the voice from Babamkhulu. If you want to listen to it, we will mention it. It's at Babamkhulu's TikTok.
You can go and
so
see.
So you'll get it there.
Yeah, in video
Now
format.
let us indulge.
Let's indulge.
Thokozani makhehla, thokozani zindlondlo, ke mkhulu makhephula here. Thembi wa mo Dlozilami, ke Dlozilami or umoya or eng. Wa le re bontsha metlholo. Metsi le oil di tlhakana bjang.
Yes, for those who do not understand then the language is asking literally how does oil and water combine.
Mix.
So we know it does not mix, but it can be combined. Obviously you can point the oil and you can point
the
water. Yes.
Metsi le oil di tlhakana bjang ka gore o mo profeta ebile o mo theeletše ebile o mo the disease ya ka mo o tlileng ka mo teng mara disease ya teng motho a teng ga a tswa a itse bana ba hae santse ba mo tlhalosetse gore okay ngwana hao okay mokete
Right, Emily, I would like you to interpret that.
Okay, he's asking with regards to the spirits that usually enter. Why is it that they don't know the children? They can't identify their own children. Who is this? They always ask regarding the children. Who is this child? Who's this child? Well, it's not all the time, but we've seen somewhere where the great-grandparents are failing to identify the grandchildren.
Yes.
Especially if they were born after they passed on. So that's what he's asking. Why can't they identify their own?
All right. So we are going to take it step by step.
Okay.
And I want you to follow me very carefully.
Okay.
As I explain it, because I need to clarify it.
Okay.
For people to consume the right information.
Okay.
Now, if you say you are a sangoma as you claim, there are few things, Babamkhulu, that are amazing to me that you cannot actually relate to as a person of spirit. Number one, if you use bones to tell people whatever that their ancestors say,
Yeah.
what is different from what Thembi is doing is that Thembi does not need bones to do that. And there are people like that. More so if you have what we call a prophetic way of doing it. If you have what do we call it?
It's too.
Stunywa. Yes. So you can be able to do that. Now, one, the same Sangoma who's saying this should know first that there is one proper muti that can make someone do this.
Which is?
They would use, some of them, they would use izizwe, where someone can speak through that person's body.
Okay.
So, Emily, when I put zizwe to you, normally zizwe in the olden days, they were used by our forefathers when they would put them to their wives, so that when you cheat, you can actually be able to confess. When they come back after you cheated, maybe they were in Joburg working for 6 months or even a year, and then you cheated somewhere, you'll just fall and have some spiritual takeover where you start confessing the things that you were doing. So if things like that exist, why would a proper Sangoma who's got 10 years of experience miss that? I'm not saying that Thembi is using that, but I'm saying that I know people, I have relatives close to me who have went on to buy such spirits and they are using them and they are working properly.
Okay, to prophesy on
Yes,
people.
even the pastors, even your pastors, that go to
buy
church.
them.
Those are the spirits that they use, some of them. Now, a Sangoma who's got an experience of 10 years does not know that. You would forgive him if he says that I've never went to Africa. Number two, when you talk about ancestral spirit, kune what we call different spirits of Africa ancestors coming from other
What do they
countries.
call them? They have a name.
Bese kuba khona umndiki namdawu.
Umndiki
Nomdawu.
nomdawu,
Yes, those spirits are two different spirits. Well, we'll have to educate you more on that, and obviously we would need to bring those people. I have people who are very close who can come and educate you on those two spirits.
Okay.
But one is a natural one from South Africa and the other ones are from Africa.
All right.
That stems from the fact that our ancestors and our spirits, some of us, as we descended from other countries also, such as Kenya, you still find people who are speaking Zulu in Kenya and other countries, even in Tanzania, I think. There are people who are speaking Nguni, what they call, some of them would call it Ngoni. I have explained that part before.
Yes.
It's Ngoni. So, if you say that Thembi must speak in all these spirits, I have a question for you. And if it's really not jealous, because I feel like this is just coming from the point of jealousy than anything. If I go consult with a Sangoma from Nigeria, who's able to connect his ancestral spirit, if he's a Sangoma, with my spirits, and that my spirits are conveying the message to his ancestors, and then that's how they work. And then they are able to tell me what is happening, but not with my language. Some can do with your language. Some can do with your language. The good example is there is this Gogo from Bangeni, who can speak in Tsonga, but he has never learned Tsonga in any way. Because he got the spirit of Tsonga. Do you understand?
Yes.
So for someone who's a Sangoma to come and say that this is wrong, while he's also doing the very same thing, he sounds like he's speaking Sotho or Tswana.
I think it's Tswana.
Okay.
But I'm not
so
sure yet.
if I
It's
go
Tswana.
to her and consult as a Zulu person, is she gonna return me back, or she's gonna tell me what is happening with my ancestors?
She should be able to tell.
And that's what happens. So you cannot fault Thembi for being able to connect with the ancestors and being used those by ancestors to advocate for them. There is nothing wrong with that. If you can do it with bones, Thembi is not doing it with bones. It's spiritual. It gets in right away to him and then is able to speak. So you can tell from what I've just said that there's no basis for this tantrum.
Not a tantrum.
It is a tantrum. So if you listen to her, she's got no basis, but yet she's saying, I would be worried for people who are consulting with her. Because if you are missing such small things, and then you call yourself a Sangoma who's supposed to see things for people, it is worrying.
True.
And two, the
Yes.
issue of kids,
Yeah.
ancestors not knowing kids.
Yeah.
When we grew up, a kid would be born, more so in Zulu culture or in Ngoni culture, Nguni ke, as we say, Nguni, it's Ngoni in a correct way, Ongoni.
Yeah.
A kid was supposed to be introduced to the ancestors.
Oh.
So ancestors would not know you. And it is correctly so if you were never introduced as a kid.
Bathi ubika
Yes,
ingane.
ingane yabikwa. You report ukuthi la sengene ingane. That's why phela there is those things called umemulo. Where after you reported ukuthi you have a kid, now if it's a girl kid, you're saying now this kid that I've reported he was a kid at the time, he has grown now. This kid, she has grown now. She's a woman now. She's receiving pains. She's got period pains now. She's got periods.
She's developing.
Developing as a woman. If you don't do that, some people will come back from marriage to actually go through that process because they jumped it. So it tells you that ancestors need things to be done in a manner where you report
To
everything
them,
that there is.
that's happening.
Yes. Now, number 2,
Yeah.
if you get married and you give birth outside wedlock, and you get married to the very same man that is fathering your kid,
Yes.
you still need to bring those kids in through the court and from the other ancestors. Otherwise, your ancestors will not know them. They would have
be
a problem.
asking
Yeah,
who-
they will have a problem. You'll find that you have problems because you are not brought in a right way. You still belong to the ancestors of your mother, which is maternal side. So people need not to mislead people here. Now the question is, who's misleading who now? Because after explaining just those things,
It's not looking good for Babamkhulu.
now let us listen further.
Okay, let's listen further.
tse selo ka mogara motso ha itse gore ka mone o ile hanga o ile o utlweletse information bona ra itse ka tlhatlhobo sese ra itse ka tlhatlhobo. You are misleading the nation, you are scamming people, and then batho ba itse gore mara pila before o ka ya ka mogara motso o ba setse o itse information gore ka mola ba tlhokofaletse ke mme or ba tlhokofaletse ke ntate gona ka mo gona ka mogara mo motho mo moane go tswa ntate go tswa mme go tswa wena ha pape mara ntwe makatsang fela gore ba bolela seZulu fela ba bolela Setswana fela ka ke tsone tso di itse wa o sa bolele di Venda wa o sa bolele di Changane he ba tswa batswadi ba bona ba bolele Sevenda ba bolele Changane re khona.
Now, you see, this person is really attacking and is attacking with no basis.
Yeah.
And I would say this again. Now she's talking about why they don't know what is happening here. Now, I've just
Yes.
explained that most of the things are reported. Even when you do the lobola, you need to take the tails of those cows that you're going to take and go report that these cows are going to bring you a wife. Do you understand? That is reporting. You can decide to take them without doing that.
Okay.
That woman would not be recognized as a wife of this family. And they will still have questions of where are these cows? And you find your kids getting sick and all that because you took the cows just out of the kraal and then you took them wherever you wanted to. Because these people are looking after these cows for you. As ancestors, you need to report that now I'm taking 11 out of these cows and I'm sending them that side and they are going to bring 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
And they're going to need to see that woman.
She's questioning Tlatlobo, the prophecy style of Sis Thembi.
There is people who have too much gift. You have that one of Istunywa, and you would have that one of ancestors. So you find them, sometimes they use bones as a zangoma, depending on the message that they receive at the time when you come in.
Okay.
Sometimes they use a prophetic word, which does not need bones. But they will still have bones in their ndumba.
And she's also asking the ancestors that are entering, right? Usually it's on the show, we see Sotho, Zulu. Why is it that we never see Venda, Tsonga? But I'm yet to watch an episode where there's a Venda and a Tsonga family.
I've watched a Swati, I've
You
watched
watched
a
a
Zulu,
Swati.
I have watched Tswana. How does she give umhlahlo on a vendor person if it comes to her, to him? Babamkhulu.
I don't know.
The same way that Thembi is doing, the same way. He's not gonna speak Venda because probably he doesn't know how to speak Venda. If he knows, then good for him. He'll be able to encode the message and take it
Communicate.
straight the way it is. But the ancestors, because Thembi is not spoken to by your ancestors only. It's a combination of his ancestors who are able to understand the language and then take it to you. And then you decide to deliver it in whatever language that you deliver them on.
And the previous one we watched, it was Swati, right? And she was speaking Swati.
Not Swati per se, Zulush.
Zuluish.
Yes.
She was attempting though.
Yes. Now, let us go back to the issue of other than speaking Swati, other than speaking other languages.
Venda,
So I think we have
Tonga.
exhausted that part where you can go to any song. You can go to Banda, who's from Mozambique or Malawi, and the person can still do the same thing. So there's nothing wrong here. They even speak English. If there's a barrier of language, they even speak English.
communicate.
It's a matter of how you deliver the message.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that I want people to move away from is that thing of thinking that Jesus and the rest of people were speaking in English. That thing is wrong.
No. I was speaking Hebrew.
We have prophets, Christian prophets, who are prophesying in English. We have prophets who are prophesying in Zulu.
Yes.
Because they are Zulu. We have
they're
prophets who are
Zulu.
prophesying in their native language.
Yes.
Now, all this is wrong. All this that is said here is just wrong. If you don't like someone, just say it. I don't like this woman because I
Yeah.
think I deserve this job.
I can do a better job than it. Just say that.
There is no basis here.
Yeah.
So the angels that you are speaking to, they never spoke English.
No. No.
No.
No.
All this, the Bible itself is translated to English.
Yes. From Hebrew
From Hebrew.
to
You look also
English.
on the fact that some of the things were happening in Egypt. Where was English there?
No English.
When people from when Moses came to Egypt, do you think he understood the language that they were speaking? No. But who facilitated? It's a spirit of God. God facilitated because he sent them. Same as you do with your ancestors. Your ancestor as a Sangoma, they facilitate the communication because it's spiritual now. Whether they passed away knowing that language or not, they will know it because it's spiritual. They sent you to help people. They knew what they were doing. When they send people, because people are sent to you by them. So they would make sure that you are able to deliver that message the way you are supposed to deliver it. So there's no basis here.
Okay.
We can sit down and try to analyze her and maybe let's listen to her and finish.
Okay.
ID number everyone who is ID number e ka tlho tlogela ho misleader batho dilo tso dira over west sesi over west you are the next Bushiri west ku need an interview mo Jalav re khopela interview le Thembi ke nya go butsisa tse go butsisang tsona on national TV re khona o sedimusa batho ga ba tshwana gore ho ya o nyaka thuso o be desperate ha ba bona di-camera ba tshoga ba tshaba go nganga le mo ba bona gore ese tsona ba tshaba go nganga tse dintse ese tsona ba sala ba nganga go se no tsamaya nna a ro tshaba ro tswa mo TV ra tshaba go ngangisa tsese nna I've been here since 10 years ke le mo dilong tsa boya ke le mo bongakeng from 10 years ke le mo bongakeng nna a go misleader ko wena a go fura ko wena ra itse ka ha memoya ra itse ka ha badimo wa bona segwagwa ke motho wa bona nonyane ke motho wa bona eng you are misleading the people always about to Thembi always about you are getting worse this is getting out of hands you have to stop it we have to interview you gore o butsise pila gore o mango ka ene nna go mang metsi le go ene di kakana ya tloela dala skomboriki tloela dala modala wa dala we Thomas.
Now, basically the rest was history. So clearly she has proven that she's got 10 years, but she's not even fully a Sangoma. She's actually exposing herself. She's thinking she's exposing him. He's exposing herself. Sorry. He's exposing himself.
Himself. Was it?
Yeah, I would say himself.
Yeah.
So there is basically nothing here. I see people talking about familiar spirits.
Yes.
Maybe we have to look at that deep with just an open mind. Because what if you say that our ancestors are familiar spirit? What if I tell you that the spirits that you talk to or you look at as your angels are familiar spirits? In fact, whose angels? Isn't those are people that used to live in the days of Christianity at the time?
I don't know. What I've heard is that angels have never been human. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure if I am
let me
correct.
ask you something. Wasn't the devil himself an angel who used to play nice music?
He was.
Was the devil never a human?
No.
He was never a human. Was Jesus a human?
Yes. Jesus was a human, God's only son.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. It's a very confusing story.
It is.
But do not come with one mentality of thinking as a Christian only, and you start shooting without having to look at the way also you are believing. You have a spirit yourself. You believe in spirit.
I am a spirit. You are a spirit. We are all spiritual beings.
It's forces. And we need to look at that without fearing. We need to, even the Bible allows criticism. We need to have that criticism and have a discussion. so that we learn. The problem I have is when you have to take without questioning. That is when, and this is not the Bible that said we must just take. People have created that doctrine of people must take that thing. Whatever that we give, whatever that we put in front of them, they must just take it. Hence, people are so lost.
Maybe also they should consider doing follow-up with these people that write to the show to see if since system became, what has been progress or how has she helped.
I would tell you, even the people that go to him, they don't get fixed right away, because the things of spirits, they take their time. Sometimes you fix something, it works right away. You had a problem of not getting a job, you fix whatever that they say fix, you get the job. But sometimes it takes time for the acceptance and all that. The process might take long. So there's still basis of actually defending yourself there.
Because Babamkhulu is arguing this, he feels like these people are scared because of the cameras, so they just agree to everything Thembi say.
I don't know if it's his spirit that told him to say this.
We will never know, only he could tell
But
us.
I can tell you, normally sangomas, they keep quiet. But if you have this mouth of making noise, then there is no one who sent you. You just felt the need to communicate.
Could this be for clout?
This is sounding like cloud chasing, and I would say it sounds cloud chasing.
Okay.
Everything that he's standing for, he's contradicting himself. Everything that he's standing for.
He's contradicting
Everything.
himself.
He's not Zulu. I can go to him and consult.
Will he speak in Zulu or will he speak in Setswana?
I don't know.
Sesotho?
Lucky if he knows Zulu, then good. But if he didn't know Zulu, I don't think he would be able to understand. And the Zulu that was spoken by our ancestors is even more deeper.
It's worse than the current one.
So for you to come and say that you understand that Zulu, it's a lie. You need your ancestors' help.
To interpret for you.
Yes.
Okay, so Babamkhulu.
As much as when you speak in tongues, the Bible said someone must be interpreting that.
Yes, it does say the Bible.
So that's what Thembi is doing. They speak in tongues spiritually, and Thembi interprets.
Okay.
I have a problem with us Christians when we come and just bash without having to look at things properly. We need to be solid when we talk about things.
And sober.
We need to be sober. We don't need to let our emotions push us.
Okay.
We are all in a learning process here.
We are.
No one must claim that they know more than the other.
We are.
You see people saying, these are familiar spirits. Who told you these are familiar spirits? The Bible?
Not really. I haven't seen familiar spirits in the Bible, but
It's
maybe
there, it's there.
y'all
It's
can
there.
correct me.
It's
in the
there. That's why
comment
they are
section.
using it. It's there.
You think it's there?
But is Jacob
a familiar spirit?
a familiar spirit, or is it Jacob?
Abraham?
Is Abraham a familiar?
Isaac?
Is Jesus a familiar spirit or not? When your pastor says Jesus said this to me as a prophet, why is it easy to believe? Because you have subscribed to the Christianity and you are subscribing to anything that has to do with Christianity. When the name Jesus is associated with that, I'll submit.
I'll do it because it's Jesus.
And let us be honest now. We cannot have people coming here claiming that these are familiar spirits.
Yeah.
Because what if I say that Jesus is also a familiar spirit? Would you feel fine? Will it be fine?
I think I'll need to do a little bit more research.
If
into
my
this
grandmother,
familiar spirit.
If my grandmother said to us, you guys your father is not married to your mother. If you go out here, when he was alive, you must make sure that my part is paid fully, meaning your mother is lobolat properly and whatever that I was feeding you is also paid. And if you don't do that and you die, is that still a familiar spirit? And your grandmother has passed away already.
This is a tricky question.
Maybe we should have that question because it happens to people. It happens.
It's a tricky question.
There are things that are said by people who are living and they still carry on when they have passed away.
True.
Is that a familiar spirit? Yes or no? I leave it to the proper Christians.
Leave your comments down below.
Because perhaps I'm still a Christian with wet ears. I still need to learn also.
Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think.
Just have this sweating conversation.
Sweating.
You're gonna sweat. I know you're gonna sweat.
Conversation.
Hey, you're gonna sweat because people just speak. Once you are Christian, you feel like Christianism and our culture. It's like educated people and people who are not educated. One feels superior. Christians feel superior more than anyone else.
Wow. And that is so true.
Everything they say is the truth. It must be believed. Yet the Bible that we are referencing to, there are books that are removed. Was that God removing those books?
Yeah.
Was that God removing those books, or it was people who decided what is going to resonate with you properly? Let us give this and suit the narrative at the time.
And that is what the pastors, the charlatans are doing right now.
You talk to people, you listen to them talking. Some of them, they are for a New Testament, but the issue of giving at church, which is an Old Testament.
Malachi. Old Testament
is still part of that, because it suits the narrative at the
because
time.
Let
us talk about that, Christians.
Because he talk about the mullah.
Let's talk about that. The books that were removed.
It doesn't even talk about money.
The books of demons.
They made it about money.
Yes, the book of demons that was used, that was removed on that Bible. Have you read it?
The book of Enoch.
Yes. Have you read that book of Enoch properly? No. Was that God who removed it?
No.
Let us talk about that. Let's have that conversation. Can we have that conversation? Probably you'll find that I have read it. They're super Christians. They have not read it.
Because it's not in the Bible.
Who removed it?
Ever wanted to change our narrative?
Now you see, I rest my case. People need to start thinking smart also.
Yeah.
People need to start reasoning. You can come here and tell us, these are familiar spirits. Familiar spirits what? What familiar spirits?
Well,
familiar spirits are the very same spirits that actually removed the book when they were still alive. They removed certain book for you to read only the certain part that will make you even dumber.
Oh my God.
I rest my case. Apologies, because we need to teach each other. We are teaching each other, right? Yeah, let us learn.
Okay, guys, until the next upload, thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye, yo.